Chapter 5. Call now, is there any that will answer you? And to which of the holy ones will you turn? For anger killeth the foolish man, and envy slayeth the silly one. I have seen the foolish taken root, but suddenly I beheld his habitation cursed. His children are far from safety, and are crushed in the gate, with none to deliver them. Whose harvest the hungry eateth up, and taketh it even out of the thorns, and the snare gapeth for their substance. For affliction cometh not forth from dust, neither doth trouble spring out of the ground. But man is born unto trouble, as the sparks fly upward. But as for me, I would seek unto God, and unto God would I commit my cause. Who doeth great things, and unsearchable marvelous things without number? Who giveth rain upon the earth, and sendeth waters upon the fields, so that he setteth up on high those that are low, and those that mourn are exalted to safety. He frustrateth the devices of the crafty, so that their hands can perform nothing substantial. He taketh the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of the wily is carried headlong. They meet the darkness in the daytime, and grope at noonday as in the night. But he saveth from the sword of their mouth, even the needy from the hand of the mighty. So the poor hath hope, and iniquity stoppeth her mouth. Behold, happy is the man whom God correcteth. Therefore despise not you the chastening of the Almighty. For he maketh sore and bindeth up. He woundeth, and his hands maketh whole. He will deliver you in 6 troubles. Yes, in 7 there shall no evil touch you. In famine he will redeem you from death, and in war from the power of the sword. You shall be hid from scourge of the tongue, neither shall you be afraid of destruction when it comes. At destruction and famine you shall laugh, neither shall you be afraid of the beast of the earth. For you shall be at league with the stones of the field, and the beast of the field shall be at peace with you. And you shall know that your tent is in peace, and you shall visit your habitation, and shalt miss nothing. You shalt know also that your seed shall be great, and your offspring as the grass of the earth. You shall come to your grave in a ripe age, like as a shock of corn cometh in its season. Lo, this we have searched it, so it is. Hear it, and know you it for your good. Let's go back up, verse 1. And we remember the last chapter. Eliphaz, he is the Temani. Eliphaz is this mighty one of refined gold. This refined, or it's been passed through the fire and refined to make a pure gold. Even the mighty one of the pure gold is he is the Temani, even that one from that place in the south, that dry land. He had begun to speak. He has begun to speak, and his words will be able to use as a witness. He is talking about this perception he had of this vision, where he's seen this an image. Couldn't tell you exactly what the image was. He heard this speak as if it was a whisper, this still voice that he heard, and that asked if a man could be just before God, if a man could raise himself up and stand before God and present himself as a man before God, a man that tries to do the right thing, a man who serves God, even though God doesn't put any. The insinuation is that God doesn't put no trust in his servants. God doesn't put, but only charges his angels only with judgment. We'll find, though, we know that God did give us the strength to overcome, and God gives us these abilities. When we received the law, we received everything that it would take to overcome. But these that don't listen, we'll find out, these are the ones who dwell in the flesh, who don't have no understanding of the law of God, and they are the ones who, even from within, this is the tent stake that's been plucked up. They died, and without wisdom, without understanding, well, because no one has tried to give it to them, they have been left to die, so to speak. We'll pick it up here in verse 1. Call now. Is there any that will answer you? And to which of the holy ones will you turn? Call out, Eliphaz. Eliphaz is continuing. This would just be a continuance from the last verse of the last chapter. This answer that call now. Who's going to answer you? Which of the holy ones will you turn? Which way are you going to go? To which one of these holy ones? And these holy ones are these. They were holy. Hallowed means to be set aside, separated. And even in the beginning, these ones who were separated out, we'll find that God give something to rule over all the nations and all these other peoples. And Eliphaz, it's asking Job now, to which one of these ones are you going to turn? For anger kills the foolish man. Anger, that even this wrath, this comes forth from God. And envy, jealousy, is that which slays the silly one, this one who runs off after these not of gods and these images and these things that men create. It would be the jealousy of God. God is a jealous God. This makes him angry. 3, I have seen the foolish taken root, but suddenly I beheld his habitation cursed. I have seen the foolish, they take root, they go into these other understandings, and they begin to take root. It's like a plant that springs forth at first, and then suddenly I beheld his habitation, and it was cursed. There was not enough earth there, so to speak, in order for the roots to spread out and prosper, that which had taken root. See, or that. And it's just that it's going to wither and die. 4, his children are far from safety and are crushed in the gate with none to deliver them. His children, and these will be those ones that come forth from him, they are far from safety. That means rest. They are far from security. They are far from security. And they are crushed in the gate. They are crushed in this place of judgment even, we'll find out. That's that place. God give all the not gods to all the other nations to worship. But unto his children he said, you shall not do this thing. And this itself were gates of judgment. And there was none who could deliver them. 5, whose harvest the hungry eateth up, and taketh it even out of the thorns, and the snare gapeth for their substance. Whose harvest, this is all that substance which they plant, they grow, and the hungry are those that eat it up. They come there, these are those of famine, those who are starved, and there's not enough. There's not enough, we'll find out. And they'll even take it up even out of the thorns. These are the prickling places. These are the places that pierce. See, and even these places that cause to bleed, cause pain, cause infliction of the flesh, or cause the blood to be seen. Any way you want to look at that is to inflict upon the flesh. And these would be the fact that they would even go into these places that cause the flesh to suffer, to get substance. And the snare gapeth for their substance. And the snare, this snare is just that. It's a snare, it's a trap, a pit, or a hole. We could look at it more like that. It gapeth, it opens up, see, to receive everything they get. We'll find out. Some think they prosper. A lot think they're prospering. We'll find out there's no prosper in idolatry. 6, for the affliction cometh not from the dust, neither does trouble spring out of the ground. For affliction, oppression, this any type of suffering in the earth, it doesn't spring forth up out of the dust. It ain't something that grows, a tree or a plant or something like that. Neither does it spring out of the ground. It's not something we can see growing. 7, but man is born unto trouble as the sparks fly upward. But man is born unto trouble. Trouble comes forth from man. It's born out of man. That's where trouble comes from. Man creates these troubles. Everyone creates these. And they begin inside of us, inside within our understanding. See, is where this trouble, contention, wickedness, evilness, whatever you want to call it, as the sparks fly upward. And this is just that coming off the fire. That's what a spark is. See, it just come off the fire. It's carried upward by the heat. And this is the judgment of God. All these troubles of men, and they just like little sparks coming off the fire. And this is the light. This is the understanding. That fire, we can witness that burning. 8. But as for me, I would seek unto God, and unto God would I commit my cause. But as for me, I would seek unto God, and unto God would I commit my cause. Unto God, even I would deliver myself over unto judgment of God, to go ahead and face up to the law, and face up and cleanse myself, make myself clean, and stand there and present myself before God in the law. 9. Who doeth great things and unsearchable, marvelous things without number. And God does do great things. We'll find these great things, and they are unsearchable, marvelous things without number. There's no reckoning of it. There's no understanding. There's no ability to record or count the numbers of great things. 10. Who gives rain upon the earth and sends waters upon the fields. He does give the rain upon the earth, even that for the crops, the harvest, that which they need to bring forth, and he sends the waters upon the fields. That's where they're planted, all about. This rain, that's the understanding coming down from heaven. That's the water coming down from the heavens, see. And these are the waters upon the field, or that understandings that go forth in all the earth. 11. So that he sets up on high those that are low, and those that mourn are exalted to safety. He sets up on high those that are low. He can take the base and make him high. We found that out with David. He was able to take David, a lowly shepherd, from tending the flock right out of the field. He took him, made him king of Israel. See, God can do whatever God wants to do. And those that mourn, those that are mourning, he can even exalt, lift up, and carry them to safety. We'll find out that's exactly what God does. He delivers everyone from where they're at, brings them, sets them back on the path. They are his sheep. 12. He frustrateth the devices of the crafty, so that their hands can perform nothing substantial. He frustrates the devices of the crafty, all these things that men try to invent, so that their hands, these works, can't perform anything substantial. They can't perform anything that's ever going to do anything. See, it's all the work of man. I believe they can't perform their enterprises, is what King James Version here. And the word is tushia, and that is, they ain't got nothing sound. They ain't having no success. Anything that's really efficient in wisdom or biting, anything that's going to last or stay, they can't do nothing. We already know that, though. They try to work these things, but we'll find out evil continues and wickedness goes on. See, that's the evidence. That's the evidence. 13. He taketh the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of the wily is carried headlong. He taketh the wise in their own craftiness, in their own understandings even. He's got you singled out. He's got you separated according to your understandings as he wants to do. See, that's God. That's how he works. He controls all understanding. And the counsel of the wily. This counsel of the wily, their words, they are just carried headlong. They are removed head first, or their understandings first, we would find. had none in the beginning. 14. They meet with darkness in the daytime, and grope at noonday as in the night. They meet with darkness in the day. Darkness is simple. It's an evil. Darkness is the opposite of light. Light is good. Darkness is bad. The good, the bad. You see, and that's really what we're talking about. They meet with darkness in the daytime, right? In periods of understanding, they conceive darkness, and these are those periods. In the periods of daytime, they grope at noonday as in the night, because they're blind. They have no understanding, and that's what this means. That grope, like a groping man, a blind man groping again a wall, if he's lucky, groping again a wall at noonday. And noonday's when all the shadows are gone. There ain't no shadows. The sun's straight up in the air and it's shining straight down. The shadows beneath your feet. See, as in the night, just like it's darkness, they don't know what time it is. They're blind. God did that. See, they have eyes to see, but they see not. 15. But he saves from the sword of their mouth, even the needy from the hand of the mighty. God can save. God delivers even from the hand of the mighty. That's all those not of God. See that he saves us from the sword of their mouth. This sword, these words. See that words? We can take the S, throw it down there, end of the words of their mouth. This is that tongue of deceit, the tongue of wickedness, the tongue of every imagination that they have. God said, you shall not do after them. After every abomination have they done. You shall not do this to the Lord your God. Even because God has the ability to save these needy, those that have not, they don't have no substance. He can save them from the works of the mighty. God can deliver. We'll find out God does deliver even from the hand of the mighty. 16. So the poor hath hope, and iniquity stops her mouth. So the poor has hope. Don't give up. There's light. We have two holes we can see and we can look forward. We see light. We see hope. We have hope. There is hope. And iniquity stops her mouth. Perversion does stop her mouth. This would be a great day of rest here, when perversion would shut up. 17. Behold, happy is the man whom God corrects. Therefore despise not you the chastening of the Almighty. Behold, we can look and see these things. Happy is the man whom God corrects. Happy is he. Because why? He has his Lord, he has God, he has law, he has understanding, and he is corrected by the understanding of God. He turns. See, he turns in his understanding toward God. Therefore despise not you the chastening of the Almighty. So don't despise when God is punishing you. The punishment is greater the further we stray off the path. See, it's for a reason, to force you back. This is the rod. This is the rod that stretches forth to steer the sheep. See, that correction, to correct his sheep back up onto the path. And that's the law. That's the law, the path that God made it. See it. That path leads to God. 18. For he makes sore and binds up. He wounds and his hands make whole. For he makes sore. God can cause a wound. God can heal the wound. God binds it up. He wounds. God's works does this. This is how God works. He steers us with correction, steering us. See, once we enter the covenant, make the agreement, we say, yes, I will follow these laws. I will follow these understandings. Trouble's going to flee. Trouble's going to flee. If it comes to test, to afflict, this is that which gives you the ability to stand right there in the fire. 19. He will deliver you in 6 troubles, yes, in 7 there shall no evil touch you. He will deliver you, see, in these 6 troubles. Troubles are these afflictions, these 6 afflictions, we can say in 6 troubles. These 6 is always the work of man. 6 days shalt you do your work. See, yes, in 7 there shall no evil touch you, and he will deliver you, even in this work of man, which is the troubles. See, that's the troubles, these works of men, these things that they make, these things they create, these understandings they have. Yes, in 7 there shall no evil touch you. And yes, in 7. 7 is to accomplish, to put an end to it, perfect it. See, because when it's done, there shall no evil touch you. 20. In famine, he will redeem you from death, and in war, from the power of the sword. In famine, when there is no substance, we'll find out. That's what that is. When they was in the wilderness, there was no substance, and they cried out unto the Lord, and he caused the manna to come down from heaven. God will redeem you from death. God's not going to let you starve. See, and in war, from the power of the sword. At war are things that men make. These are evils, things that men do for gain. And even from that, even from the power of the sword, that sword, even those words where men make war, these words are that place where they make war with God. See, they make war with God there. 21. You shall be hid from the scourge of the tongue, neither shall you be afraid of the destruction when it comes. You shall be hid from that scourge of the tongue. That scourge of the tongue is deception. It's lies. It's destruction. That's what it is. That is the scourge of the tongue. These lies, these understandings, men always are full of them. They always got a little something they want to teach with it. Get them a little, fill their pockets with gold. It's the same old story. There's nothing ever going to change about it. You shall not be afraid of destruction when it comes. And, it's come. It has come. At destruction and famine you shall laugh, neither shall you be afraid of the beast of the earth. At destruction and famine, that destruction, these lies, the deception that's in all the earth will find. And this famine, this starvation, this hunger for the understanding of God, you shall laugh, because why? God's feeding you the manna, understanding that comes from the law. See, the law, that is your substance. It keeps you from the destruction. It keeps you from the famine. You shall not be afraid of the beast of the earth. These beasts, those that tear, those that rip, those that destroy in the flesh. 23. For you shall be in a league with the stones of the field, and the beasts of the field shall be at peace with you. For you shall be a league. Being a league is to be in association, be associated with these stones of the field. And these stones of the field are those things of old that remain about. And we see them, we call them rocks. We can look at it like that. But that's that from old, even that earth of old, that those of old, those things of old, anything that remains that we can see. And the beast of the field shall be at peace with you. Those that rip and tear, why? Because you are established. You are established in the law. And they shall be at peace with you. Now, 24. You shall know that your tent is in peace, and you shall visit your habitation, and shalt miss nothing. You shall know that your tent is in peace. Well, that's the peace covenant. That's the covenant that keeps peace. You shall visit your habitation. That's your dwelling place. That's the place where you dwell, see, in the law. You shall miss nothing. You shall miss nothing. You shall know also, 25, that your seed shall be great, and your offspring as grass of the earth. And you shall know also your seed shall be great. Your seed shall be great, that it will last. And your offspring as the grass of the earth. Your offspring as this grass is that springs forth in abundance of the flesh. 26. You shall come to your grave in a ripe age, like as a shock of corn comes in its season. And you shall come to your grave. That's we all going to the grave. But see, there's understanding, there's happiness to know that you are affirmed in the covenant, and this at this ripe age. This is to live in old age, like a shock of corn comes in its season. And a shock of corn is that has many little corn grains on each ear. See, that which contains many, each one like a day or a year. We could look at it like that upon the ear of corn. And it, just like when it comes in its season, it's completed, it's complete, it's fulfilled to its point of harvest. 27, lo, this we have searched out, so it is. Hear it, and know you it for your good. Lo, now behold, listen, because we have searched it, and so it is. Hear it, and know it for your good. And we're going to find Eliphaz, it's still, though, he is accusing of transgression, even though he's telling him all these things, and that it is true. It is true that to keep the law is salvation, but Job, we'll find out, hasn't sinned. He's just passing through an affliction, passing through a punishment, little bit of fire to clean off some dross. See, that's just a little bit of trouble. To see how you're going to handle it. To see how you're going to handle it. We find that God gives us the power over all things. God gives us strength, and it comes from within. It comes from the law, knowing we are firm. Even if death comes, we are affirmed. We're made solid in the law. We know we have done the right thing, taught our children the law from morning to evening, from the beginning to the end, done the right thing, know that these things, they shall prosper. We're going to move on to chapter 6. Turn and return.